Hey, what's up everyone? Lord Ryujin here, bringing you another YouTube video. I was listening to my Smash Brothers soundtrack that I got in from Nintendo. Really digging the music. When I check my Facebook feed and all this stuff, and I'm reading some of the stuff that says that Nintendo's working on a next generation console, to which I said, duh, yeah. So I wanted to go ahead and do a real quick video to tell people, calm down. Whoa, calm down, Tonto. Because Microsoft is working on their next gen console, and so is Sony. It's what happens after the launch of a system, or after the launch of anything. Developers are usually going on to the next thing. It's sort of like, let's say Bethesda announces Elder Scrolls 5, and that's what they're working on. After they release it, they're moving on to the next one. They're moving on to whatever game they're coming out with next. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's really no surprise to me, at least, that Nintendo is working on a next generation console. And I'll have to double check the article, but I don't believe they actually said next gen. I believe they just said they're working on the next piece of hardware, which could easily just be a fit meter, or some equivalent of something to help better your life. There's that quality of life thing that they kept talking about. I don't think they ever said next gen console. The other thing to consider in this thing, though, is that they just said announcements will come out about it next year. So people are automatically thinking, oh, that means 2015 is gonna be there's gonna be another they're giving up on the Wii U. There's gonna be another. No. Whoa, calm down. They never said that they were gonna release it in 2015. You have to think about this. They spent 2 years showing off the Wii U before they even announced a release date, before they even showed you its final hardware form. So they might just show you a controller and give you an idea, and it might be another 3 years before this thing's even out. The whole time the Wii U is still getting games. I mean, I really don't think that Nintendo will be sitting there talking about, oh, Xenoblade Chronicles is coming out, and Zelda's coming out by the end of the year, if in 2016 they have new hardware coming out. I don't think they'd be doing that. It was kind of obvious that Nintendo was coming out with a next-gen system because the amount of games that the Wii was getting was slowing down. It was slowing down, and here we have Nintendo that's just like, this game's coming out, and this game's coming out, and this game's coming out, and these amiibos are coming out, and this is coming out, and that's coming out. And I don't think that Nintendo would be doing that if they had plans next year of releasing new hardware. I just don't think that would happen. You're welcome to disagree with me on that, and make sure that you put it down in the comments as far as why you think that might not be true. But from where I'm standing, that's the truth of the matter. I mean, more likely they are already working on the next successor, I guess. They're already working on what the next portable console is going to be beyond the 3DS. And I've already kind of told you a little bit of what I think about the new 3DS. I think that it's just a placeholder, and that's going to be kind of similar to what the next one looks like. I'll go into all that later on. But as far as this is concerned, it's called Project Nintendo NX for Next, obviously. I think it would be interesting if they kept the NX, called it Nexus. Because Nintendo Nexus does sound kind of interesting to me. It sounds better than Fusion. But you just have to understand, they're just going to be giving an announcement about it. They never stated that they were going to release it. They never stated they were going to give up on the Wii U. They never stated anything like this. And you also have to consider that with Nintendo's track record, it's going to be backwards compatible with the Wii U. So it's still going to use the gamepad. Or it's going to have some kind of a touch capability to be able to support the Wii U games. Unless they're just going to completely abandon it altogether. we'll see. We'll see what happens. But that's my thoughts on that, guys. There's really nothing to get excited about with this. I personally, you know that I love Nintendo. I always try to, stand up for them when I can. I don't always white knight them because they do some bad things. So I have to state that if this in fact is a next generation console and they're planning to release it in 2016, that's very dumb. And I have to state that it's because that sounds like a Sega move. Oh, we haven't even had time to release any of the big hitters for our system yet. Like we came out with Smash and Mario Kart and that's it. We didn't even try to come out with an F-Zero or really try to use the system, to its fullest capabilities. We just kind of gave you a Mario, gave you a Smash Brothers, gave you a Mario Kart, gave you a Zelda. Bye, see you next time. When there's a whole slew of Wii games that could have sequels. There's a whole slew of old games that could have reboots. There's all kinds of stuff. I don't think that the Wii U is quite done yet. And so because of that, I wouldn't be surprised if it still has another 2 to 3 years on it. And that would be normal. That would be normal. That would give the Wii, about 6 or 7 years? That would be pretty normal. If you ask me, that would be a pretty normal gestation period for a console, more than enough time to come out with a good buttload of games. But it's nothing to think about. It's nothing to start saying that, Nintendo's doomed. They know that the Wii U is doomed, so they're coming out for another console already. Dude, Sony's already working on the PlayStation 5. I can guarantee it. They're not announcing anything about it because they don't have a whole lot of stuff that they want to announce yet about it, and the PS4 is still selling very well. But I can almost guarantee you that Sony and Microsoft are sitting down with a bunch of people and trying to decide what they want to do next with their hardware. Like I said, it may be another 3 or 4 years before they show anything off on it. But that's just how it is. And even with the Wii U, the Wii was still being supported for a good 2 to 3 years before they even released it. They just showed off the gamepad. They showed off, this is what we want to do with the Wii U. And that's probably all they're going to do with this. If it's even a next-gen hardware system at all, it could just be some kind of a peripheral. It could just be some kind of side thing, like what the Virtual Boy was. That was kind of like on the side. It wasn't really their main, console focus. It wasn't really their main portable focus. It was here this thing is, Only time will tell when they do announce it. And of course, when they do announce it, I will be here to talk about it. I hope that you join me for that. But for right now, only time's going to tell on what this is. If it is truly a next-gen console, I really do think there's going to be another 2 to 3 years before we see its final form. Before we actually get a launch date and this is the hardware and stuff like that. I don't think the Wii U is going to go anywhere. That's just like stating that simply because Sony is already working on a PlayStation 5 and they're already deciding what they want to do with the PS4, that the PS4 is doomed. No, it just means that they're doing the logical thing that any company would do. We have the product out. What's the next big product? What are we going to push? What do we need to start working on? And what do we need to do to make this happen? That way they can start spending the time to put the resources that they need off to the side, to get the contracts written up, to make sure that they have a definitive game plan going forward, so that way when they do announce it and they do launch it, they know that within a year they're doing this and this and this, and by launch they have this ready, this ready. It's what any company would do. So that's just what I think. Again, make sure that you share your thoughts down below. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you next time.